Welcome back to Truth or Recon. I'm Agent D. Baker, a retired narcotics detective, SWAT team member, and U.S. Navy combat veteran of OEF and OIF. With years of real-world experience in high-stakes environments, I have seen firsthand the dangers that lurk both in our communities and now increasingly online. These conversations can get raw, they can get heavy, and sometimes they may not be suitable for children, so consider this your disclaimer. But if you care about truth, justice, and accountability, then you're in the right.
What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good Saturday evening, Saturday night, and a good weekend so far. Obviously not my normal time to go live, but I didn't get to go live last night due to some technical difficulties. And so wanted to jump on tonight for a little bit. Should be pretty laid back tonight. Yeah, no, you didn't miss me. We tried going live, and like I said, we were having some technical difficulties, and it just wasn't happening. So and it was going to be late anyway, later than normal last night. Because I live in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, which is where the University of Alabama is, and we go to a lot of the sporting events on campus, and we went to the gymnastics meet last night, and then basketball tonight, and it's been a full weekend and busy here, and so that was part of it. All my chat set up. Hey, Gloria, how are you? And I don't have any specific topics. There's so much going on right now, not just one specific thing that I'm stuck on. So really, like I said, we'll be kind of laid back tonight, and really whatever y'all want to discuss. So if anybody has any questions, let's hear them. Did I get the video Christy shared? Which one? I have not watched it. But I'll pull it up and we can watch it on here, right? I could pull it up. No, I've got it pulled up, Katie. Hey, Leanne, how are you? Yeah, Denim. As soon as this, let me watch this video, and then I will. And if I forget, just remind me in a second. Seriously. It's not gonna work. All right.
Job. But even worse, this appears to have been an inside job. But even worse, yes, worse, an angry housekeeper or gardener is not the one suspected of abducting Nancy Guthrie. It is way closer and even more sinister than that. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, with a lot of updates. Breaking news right now on the abduction of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, 84-year-old Nancy. She was last seen in her Arizona home on Saturday, where all of her belongings were left behind: her car, her cell phone, her wallet. She hasn't had access to her medication. Her pacemaker has stopped syncing to its devices. Blood was found at the home. Her security cameras were smashed. I think this is just more than a potential robbery gone bad. According to Ashley Banfield, she is reporting exclusively that there is now a person of interest. However, this is exclusive information from Ashley Banfield and has yet to be confirmed by local authorities. According to the longtime journalist and News Nation host, the person of interest is Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law, not Savannah's husband. Here's everything we know. Tommaso Cioni has been identified as a possible suspect. Law enforcement. This appears to have been an inside job. But even worse, yes.
Well, that was uneventful. I thought he was going to tell us something new. She'll get me all excited about. I can't stand him. I've never watched him before until he was calling out Brittany Stapleton a couple days ago or a week ago, and he didn't take her BS. I mean, he could see right through it as well. Yeah, I don't have anything against him. I've never watched him. Hey, Charles, how are you? Another Kentuckian. I got a few Kentuckians. One that's usually on, but I don't see her on tonight, but she's usually on. Press plucks my last nerve. The flight from Nashville to Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, so I've just seen the headlines. I've been out at events all day, so I haven't gotten to see any details whatsoever. If anyone knows any details, or we'll pull it up in just a second, actually, and look at it, because I am very curious about that, to exactly what may have happened or what did happen. I spent the most of the day in another part of the state because my nephew is a state champion arm wrestler, and he was in a big tournament, the state tournament today, and I went and watched him. He finished third. He's only 19. He's a huge kid. God, he's huge. A lot stronger and bigger than his uncle. Oh, another thing we'll discuss tonight is a psychiatrist with Bryce Hospital here in Alabama was just caught with for abuse on some patients. Apparently, sick stuff. Yeah, it's a mental health facility. This is a true crime thing or all sorts of topics. It's mostly true crime, but I also talk about a lot of corruption stuff as well. Yeah, let me find an article on this flight. Passengers on a flight that made an emergency landing in Atlanta recorded the startling moment federal officers and local cops ran onto their plane to handle what officials called a possible security matter. The surreal scene was captured aboard a Southwest flight, which was traveling from Nashville to Fort Lauderdale before being diverted on Friday. So, allegedly, some type of explosives threat. Yeah, let's watch the video. This is on Yahoo News. Heads down, hands up. Yep, definitely a tactical unit. Like a middle-aged, or shall I say, military-aged male. It remains unclear exactly what the passenger in question did or said to trigger the security response. Man, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty sketchy, especially with the timing. Has anyone seen any more details released on it, or is that pretty much all we know right now? So that's pretty much all they've put out so far. I'll be keeping up with that, though. And depending on what information comes out about it, I may make a full podcast on it. But we'll definitely discuss it more Monday night on the live, because hopefully we have more info then. But it's pretty sketchy. Yeah, Toby. Yeah. We're going to talk about that. I actually I recorded a podcast on it that I have not released yet, but yeah, we're going to talk about that. Hey, Jones from Mississippi. I appreciate you being on here. So Toby asked, what about Matt Hanley being a security guard at the Walker County Courthouse? So, and for those of you that are not familiar at all with this, we're going to talk about it. And for those of you that are not familiar with, so I've done a lot of coverage on Walker County, Alabama, and specifically the sheriff there, the current sheriff, and the sheriff's office, the entire agency, and literally a little over 30% of the entire law enforcement agency has been federally indicted within the last year and a half. So corruption is if you look up the definition of corruption, it's Walker County Sheriff's Office is going to be in that definition. That's how bad it is. So just in the last week, possibly 2 weeks, a Walker County Sheriff's deputy, James Matt Hanley, he's already been federally indicted for excessive force and then lying to a federal grand jury. This was stemmed from an incident during the Tony Mitchell arrest, and Tony Mitchell was an inmate inside that county jail who was literally tortured for 2 weeks by the jail staff, by deputies, by corrections officers, and they literally froze him to death inside the facility. Literally, when they got him to the hospital, his body temperature was like 70 degrees. So literally froze the poor guy to death. And he wasn't some bad, evil criminal. He was someone that was literally suffering from a mental health issue. And they tortured, and it's, most of it's on video. I mean, they tortured the man. And so far, there have been almost 30 people indicted just on that case, federally indicted. But again, Hanley was indicted in February of 25 for deprivation of rights and witness tampering. And now, instead of standing trial like he should, in my opinion, he has entered into a pretrial diversion agreement with the U.S. Department of Justice. And that means his prosecution is delayed for 12 months starting January the 28th of 2026. And if he follows the conditions, the indictment gets dismissed with prejudice. So, dismissed. Erased. Which is, again, in my opinion, unacceptable for what he participated in. Now, part of his agreement, he had to surrender his Alabama law enforcement certification, his A-Post certification, so he could never be a police officer in the state of Alabama. And he also had to agree that he can never seek any sworn law enforcement job at local, state, or federal levels in the entire country ever again. Now, here's the part that's going to blow your mind. Walker County Sheriff Nick Smith allowed Hanley to come back to work for the sheriff's office just in the last 2 weeks after all this. Not making that up. He came back to work for the sheriff's office in courthouse security. The problem is, well, I mean, that's one problem. The other problems are he was still wearing a full deputy uniform and a badge and carrying a firearm. In other words, he's still a deputy. If you wear a badge, you're still a deputy. As simple as that. So, I mean, just think about this. A man indicted in connection with excessive force, or federally indicted in connection with excessive force and witness tampering. A man connected to a case that ended with Tony Mitchell losing his life after being tortured for 2 weeks was allowed to come back wearing the look, the symbol, and the authority of law enforcement. Now, just in case anyone, which I'm sure you're not, anyone's out there questioning, no, the sheriff, surely no sheriff would do that. Well, I can show you. And I'll show you the full letter in a minute, but this is part of a letter that Sheriff Nick Smith sent to his county commission. That being said, you state in your letter that the Civil Service Board, to the Civil Service Board, has Mr. Hanley classified as a deputy sheriff. I have not made any request that his classification be changed. As sheriff of Walker County, I have not sought your permission or approval to take disciplinary actions in my authority, and don't expect that I will be seeking such permissions or approval in the future. Well, he needs to, because this is the kind of decisions he makes. And he thinks by demoting him to courthouse security, well, then he's fixed the problem. Now, don't forget, Hanley agreed not to take a position like this. So the fact that Hanley is not already back in handcuffs by the feds pisses me off, because he's already clearly violated those conditions. I don't understand. Here's Mr. Hanley. Let's keep that up so you can see a smiling face of this complete piece of shit excuse for a human. He literally participated of torturing someone, well, anyone. It doesn't really matter that it was someone dealing with a mental health episode, but anyone, because we live in the United States of America where torture is not allowed. He actively participated in that and then lied to a federal grand jury about it. And this is where we are with it. This shows the arrogance of Sheriff Nick Smith that he thinks, well, and so far he has been able to do whatever he wants to. And no one's going to stop him, apparently. No one. So that's up to us to spread awareness to this and get national attention to this idiot of a sheriff so someone will finally do something with him. Let me pull up the full letter that sheriff wrote to the Civil Service Board. So here's page 1. And he wrote this to them February 23rd of 26, so just a few weeks ago. And this is addressed to the chairman of the Walker County Civil Service Board, Mr. Miller. This is written in response to your letter dated February 19th, 2026. Since you have a copy of my letter reducing Mr. Hanley's pay, I'm sure that you see in the letter where I made that decision as a disciplinary action towards Mr. Hanley. This is clearly stated in the letter. If, as you have, one assumes that Mr. Hanley as a deputy sheriff is an employee of the sheriff, then pursuant to the constitutional amendment, Mr. Hanley is subject to the Civil Service Board of Walker County. Of course, whether deputies are employees is debatable. No, it's not. In a county where they have a civil service board, it's not debatable whether a deputy is considered an employee. They are considered an employee. Now, there are still some counties in the state of Alabama that don't have a civil service board. Those, I'll give them the benefit of a doubt of you can call them what you want. But, of course, whether deputies are employees is debatable, and it is my position that deputies are my alter ego. And yes, again, they are considered that, but they're still employees. And as such, are not employees. And this is the first time I've ever heard this argument from anyone. Ever. Notwithstanding, accepting your assumption for the sake of discussion that Mr. Hanley is an employee and thus subject to the Civil Service Board does not change the fact that I, as Sheriff of Walker County, am not. As such, as Sheriff, well, I'll tell you what, if he's not, then who's paying him? Who's writing his checks? Because I would bet the Walker County Commission is writing his checks. But if he's not an employee of theirs, I would stop his checks. As such, as sheriff, I owe the Civil Service Board no explanation as to the basis for my disciplinary decisions related to my employees. Well, now they're his employees. And the Civil Service Board has no say regarding the decisions that I make as sheriff. One would think that the Civil Service Board is familiar with its own rules. If this is true, the board should understand that it has no authority to act regarding Mr. Hanley. Moreover, as the sheriff of Walker County, it is not my intent, responsibility, or desire to tell the Civil Service Board how to classify any employee. Indeed, the Civil Service Board has never sought out my thoughts on these types of matters in the past and has seemingly had no problems accomplishing whatever task it and the county commission desire to serve their purpose without my input acting as sheriff of Walker County. That's because no one with any sense at all wants your opinion, Nick Smith. And then here's where the part that I already showed you. That being said, stating your letter, Mr. Hanley classified as a deputy sheriff. I have not made any request that his classification be changed. As Sheriff of Walker County, I have not sought your permission or approval to take disciplinary actions in my authority and don't expect that I will be seeking such permission or approval in the future. I may have missed a page. Can't remember if there's 2 pages or 3. But the Civil Service Board has no authority to tell me how to run the sheriff's department. And as sheriff, I certainly am not obliged to share with you my thoughts regarding possible future actions that I may decide to take. Similarly, I have not and am not asking the Civil Service Board to take any actions as it relates to my disciplinary decisions. In the future, if I see that it is in the best interest of the people of Walker County, this is laughable because not one thing that man does or nor has ever done is in the interest of the people of Walker County, and he knows that. It's in the interest of Nick Smith that we all serve to make such a request despite the Civil Service Board's unwillingness to consult with me regarding matters involving the Sheriff's Department in the past, or to try to work in a cooperative way to serve the citizens of Walker County with me. And the County Commission's devout effort to interfere with and dictate my running the office of the sheriff. Okay, this is one of my pet peeves, and some of you who's been following me knows this. He's calling it a sheriff's department, but then he says office of the sheriff, which office of the sheriff is the correct way to say it. It is a sheriff's office, not a sheriff's department. I just don't understand. I mean, this just shows his ignorance of, he says it one way and then another way, and he doesn't even realize it. Anyway, I'm sure most of you don't care about that, but it's one of my pet peeves. But this shows you his arrogance and shows you he cannot stand for anyone to tell him what to do. No one. Because he thinks he knows everything and he thinks he is above everything, including the law. Let me check out some comments. Got a call here on Walker County. I'm here. Valerie, the female running for state attorney general, hold on. Are you talking about the female running for attorney general? If so, she's from Blount County, I believe. So why isn't the sheriff being charged with some type of crime as well as the deputy? Well, here's the thing. So the sheriff has been indicted by the state recently for employing deputies and letting them enforce the state laws of Alabama, wearing a badge and a weapon, but they were not certified police officers in the state, meaning they had not gone through a post training, the Alabama Peace Officers and Peace Officer Standard and Training Commission, which you have to do in order to be a law enforcement officer in Alabama. And he had numerous ones, and some of them were school resource officers that had never been through training. And he got indicted, and those cases are still pending. And then here he is doing the same thing. It's really unbelievable. And another thing, and I think I've talked about this in the podcast I'm putting out about it. He says that he disciplined Hanley for what happened in the Tony Mitchell case. But he has also made the statement that he has never watched any of the video from that incident and never will. Which, and we've discussed that before, is the most ignorant statement I've ever heard from a leader, by far. A man is tortured and frozen to death in your jail, and you refuse to watch any of the video? So that shows you he doesn't care that it happened. He doesn't even care enough that it happened that he's going to try to fix anything that happened there. It just lost. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me answer Denham's question right quick. Okay, I'm sorry, but I am confused about the two trials you are speaking about, one starting this week and one for the sheriff candidate. Correct. So one of the trials that started this past week, but they just finished jury selection Friday. So the actual opening statements and the actual trial is starting this Monday in Macon County, Alabama, and I will be there for that. And that is in regards to the Anaya Blanchard case here in Alabama. And it's a horrible case where Anaya, completely innocent, amazing young woman, student at Auburn University, and this evil POS that should not have been out of jail because of his numerous priors, and he was out on bond on serious things, just decided he saw this girl and that he wanted to take her life, and he kidnapped her. Didn't know her. She didn't know him, but he kidnapped her and took her life. And there has since been a new law passed in Alabama because of that. That's called Anaya's Law. And it gives judges in the state of Alabama now the discretion to keep a no bond on certain violent offenders, to where they can't bond out of jail. And that is all because of her mother, who is one of the strongest women you will ever meet in your life, for everything she went through, and she refused to sit back and allow that to happen to someone else's daughter. So she fought and fought and fought and got that law passed immediately. Again, she's an amazing woman. But that is the trial in Macon County, Alabama, that I will be at starting this Monday. The other trial that we've been talking about that I think you're referring to is the Aaron Spencer case out of Lonoke County, Arkansas. And he just won the Republican primary for sheriff in Lonoke County. And Aaron Spencer also happens to be awaiting trial for murder. But he is the one that his daughter was taken from his house in the middle of the night, kidnapped by a 67-year-old child predator that had already been charged and arrested for doing things to his daughter, as well as other kids, and was ordered to stay away from all of his victims. And anyway, he came, Michael Fosler was his name, took her in the middle of the night. Aaron Spencer realizes what's going on, finds him driving down the road, rams his truck off the road, sees his daughter in the passenger side of the truck trying to get out, sees Michael Fosler pull her back in the truck, and Aaron is armed. And then Fosler jumps out of his vehicle and starts running towards Aaron with something in his hand, and Aaron takes his life, thankfully. Did everyone a favor. A hero. And Aaron is a combat veteran. A hero. But the local sheriff there and the district attorney, Mr. Chuck Graham, decided that they were going to charge him. And they won't drop it no matter what. And so he decided to run for sheriff, and now he is the front runner to be the next sheriff in that town. So did that answer your question, Denham? Yes, Anah's father is a previous UFC fighter. That is correct. If the guy was running towards the dad, isn't that self-defense? Well, it's more than self-defense. He had all the right in the world to protect himself and his daughter. All the right in the world. Again, he's a hero in my book. And it's unbelievable what that county has put that family through. And it's still one of the most, if not the craziest cases I've ever heard. Now, thankfully, and I've been talking about that for almost a year now, and made tons of podcasts on it. Now, thankfully, since he has won the primary for the sheriff there, it has definitely made national news. I've seen it on CNN, Fox News, everywhere. It's everywhere now, thankfully. And so I'm hoping all of that attention now forces the district attorney there to finally drop this madness. Because that's exactly what it is. But yes, you have every right in the world to protect your family and yourself. And anyone that thinks Michael Fosler was not going to do horrible things to that 13-year-old girl that night, is lying to themselves. More than likely, he was going to do what he wanted to her like he had in the past. And then he was going to take her life, because what is one of the best ways to win your case? To make sure there's no witnesses left to testify against you. That's common sense. He was let out of jail on a $50,000 bond. God, it pisses me off every time I think about it even more. Now, I just told you exactly what happened. And trust me, I'm not adding to it. I'm not taking away. What I just described is exactly what happened. Because when I first heard about this case, I thought, nah, something's not right. You know, it was one of those, there's got to be more to this. Got to be. Like, there's no way they're charging this man, and that's all it was. Trust me, I have put a lot of days into this case. There's not much I don't know about it. I've since also dug on the sheriff there and other deputies in his sheriff's office and the prosecutor, Chuck Graham. So that is exactly what happened. So now let me show you a video from an interview that Mr. Chuck Graham, the prosecutor, the district attorney there, just made a couple days after this past week, after Aaron Spencer won the Republican primary for sheriff. And bear with me. I must have put it in the wrong file. Let me find it. All right, let me try something else. All right, here it is.
If you believe that.
So again, remember exactly what happened and then listen to what this idiot says.
If you believe that all that public sentiment and stuff, even if you are going to support that, do you really want to live in a society where people just go and kill somebody? Like the Old West, you know, like the Wild West that you had when that. Well,
Let me pause it right there. Did you hear what the idiot said? Do we really want to live in a society where you can just go around and kill anybody you want to? That's not what happened in any way whatsoever. Not even close. But this is the way he's trying to sell this. Like it's the Wild West. He literally kidnapped his daughter and had her actively holding her hostage after taking her from her house after midnight. So in the middle of the night from her bedroom. 13 years old, he's 67 years old. Had already been put in jail and arrested for S.A.ing her. And he says, do we really want to live in a society where we can just go around and kill anybody you want to?
open on. That's not how we operate these days, and nor do I want us to operate that way. But in this office and all around Arkansas, the prosecutors, I know every one of the elected prosecutors, and we just follow the law.
Just follow the law.
That's what we do, and that's what we're continue to do, no matter what public opinion is. Because we have cases where public opinion's on the other side, where they want to take somebody out and hang them. We don't operate like that. But no, we don't live in the Wild West. If you believe that.
There's not many videos or interviews that infuriates me as much as that one. Oh, man. But another big thing that we dug up on, Mr. Graham, there, when this first happened, he filed for a gag order to be put in place on the case, which meant no one could discuss it. Not Aaron, not his family. No one was allowed to tell anyone what was happening. And the judge approved it. So Aaron's defense team fought that all the way to the Arkansas State Supreme Court. And when it got there, they said, yeah, there's no need in a gag order here. Why was there a gag order issued here? So they struck it down, which released the gag order, which then they could tell everybody. And that's when we all heard about it. And that's the reason Graham didn't want no one to be allowed to talk about this, because he knew when people found out what was going on, they would lose their minds and be completely against it. He knew that. Not only that, because I gave him the benefit of the doubt when I first heard about the gag orders, like maybe he just files for gag orders in child cases, whatever, I don't know. So we researched it. That was the first gag order he had even requested in over 15 years as a prosecutor. Yep. It gets worse. After the Supreme Court struck it down, this idiot literally filed for another gag order to be put in place. Not kidding. No kidding. Thankfully, the judge then was like, nah, I probably shouldn't do this. And so it was not approved. But he tried again. That's how bad he wanted this to not get out, because he knew. It's just, it's crazy. It's nuts. He's a corrupt POS. Oh, and it is a fact that Michael Fosler, the POS, who's no longer here, thankfully, was good friends with Mr. Graham and good friends with the sheriff there. Why? Because he was a retired police chief. Michael Fosler, the suspect, was a retired police chief. How scary is that? How many victims are there out there from this POS? There's no telling. There's no telling. And then, just recently, it came out. So I'd been hearing through interviewing a bunch of different people, I'd been hearing here and there, but I couldn't, prove it, that some people were saying that Fosler had a dash camera in his vehicle and it recorded the entire event. And that the sheriff's office knew that and had gotten the dash camera. Well, lo and behold, that was true. And it finally came out not long ago that they did. And guess where the footage is? Guess where that data is? Anybody got a guess? According to the sheriff's office, no one knows. It got lost. Yep. It got lost. It got misplaced somewhere. Literally the most important piece of evidence. Yo, what is up with TikTok? Here we go again. This behavior is not in line with our policies. Gifting is suspended in the live for the next 10 minutes. Reason: feature continuous and monotonous actions without clear objectives of sustaining engagement. God bless. If you follow me on TikTok, make sure you follow me on YouTube as well, because I go live on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok all at the same time every time. And TikTok will randomly ban me every once in a while. The last time they banned me, it was for nudity. Seriously. We were having discussions like this, and I got banned for 3 days because they said I appealed it, and they upheld it. Said, no, we've reviewed it, and there was. They're like, what? And then now this, which is the same warning we got the last time we were live. And I have no idea what it even means. But make sure you're following me on. So you can follow me on all the other platforms under Agent D Baker, just like TikTok, except for Facebook. And Facebook's my full name, D-E-R-E-K, Derek Baker, D-E-R-E-K, Baker. But you also need to be following me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of those, because that's where you can find my full podcast episodes as well. But let me log off on TikTok. I'll be right back. Let me log off and then back on. I think that's what we're supposed to do. That's what my team says. On that note, let me take a quick break. So just about 2 minutes.
Before you open your door, pause. Did you check the back seat? Meet Clever Ellie, a simple, affordable plug-in that helps you build the life-saving habit of checking your back seat every single time you exit your vehicle. Just plug it into your car's 12-volt socket. When you turn off the engine, Clever Ellie plays a clear voice reminder to check your back seat. With 10 varied voice messages in different tones, your brain doesn't tune it out. It keeps the reminder in your conscious awareness so the habit sticks. That is the main difference between this device and any others that do this same thing. Clever Ellie works with all modern cars that have a standard 12-volt socket. If your car keeps power on after shutdown, like when the radio stays on, no problem. Every order includes an easy-to-install door sensor that triggers the reminder as soon as the driver's door opens. No 12-volt socket? They've got you. You can use the compact USB adapter. And yes, cleverly doubles as a practical car charger with both USB-A and USB-C ports and ongoing improvements in charging speeds. Other systems can be expensive, complex, require professional installation. Clever Ellie focuses on human habit formation using varied voice prompts to enhance your memory, not replace it. There are no fees, no subscriptions ever. They are not for profit, dedicated to child safety and awareness. Even if your car already has a reminder, you can still benefit. Or gift Cleverly to grandparents or anyone without a newer vehicle. Plug in peace of mind. Build the habit. Protect what matters. Get Clever Ellie today at cleverellie.com and join our mission to prevent hot car incidents. Use discount code DEREK, DEREK, to receive a free USB charging cable. Just click on the link listed in the video description and get your Clever Ellie today. Make sure to use discount code DEREK, DEREK, at checkout.
All right. Should be back on TikTok now. Yeah, I think I know who it is, Gloria. It's Brittany Stapleton. Brittany Stapleton and her minions have been getting on my lives. They've been reporting my lives now every time on TikTok. It's exactly what it is. I know that's what it is. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Yeah, we had technical difficulties last night, Tammy, and caused us not to be able to go live. Yeah, if you're not following me, please make sure you're following me, subscribing. And Monday, and I'll put it all out Monday night during my live, but we will be rolling out the Patreon account, and there's going to be a subscription side on that with a lot of extra videos, podcasts, things like that. Some personal protection videos, preparedness, bunch of those different things. And we will have a one night a week, maybe one. I haven't decided yet if it's going to be one night a week or once every 2 weeks. A subscription for our live only for my subscribers. We used to do that on TikTok, and I enjoyed it, and I think everybody else did as well. We're doing that as well. And there will be other perks on there too. But again, I'll put all that information out Monday night. So now do we need to talk about Brittany? I can talk about Brittany all day. Speaking of child predators. Team, should I show? And y'all know what I'm talking about. What do y'all think? Get y'all's opinion. Anybody? Bueller? Anyone on my team still here? There's Lowingo. Well, I need your opinion, Chrissy. Lowingo says go for it. I know you're here, Katie, but you wouldn't commenting. We're talking about Brittany Stapleton, and I said, should I show? Should I show everyone? And y'all know what I'm talking about. No? All right. We'll wait. That's what I have my team for. They keep me in check. I want to know why the POS that took Anaya's life doesn't have any handcuffs going in court. So that is very common for a jury trial, because they're not supposed to look like an inmate in a jury trial. He does have leg shackles on, and more than likely, I'm sure he has. So what we used to use, what they still do for those trials as well, there's these like leg braces that he has on under his pants, and he can't run. It's impossible to run in those. Like, you can't move good in them. They're specifically made for that, so you can't really see those. But he has those under his pants. So, in other words, he is secured, just not openly secured. How can I stand up and salute an officer while having to have all hands on deck? I think it went over my head, Eric. Now, remember, I never spent time on a ship. The longest I was ever on a ship was 2 weeks. We'll eventually show it. TikTok's done the same thing to us again. I I don't understand. No, you're exactly right, Priscilla. I do understand. Yeah, they're reporting my page constantly, and she's probably got 20 of them doing it. Technically, it's a 2-2 vote. Who was doing it? Brittany Stapleton and her minions. Oh, time does change tonight, doesn't it? Well, for not all of us, but for some of us. There's some lucky states that don't have to change time. There's nothing you can do, Tammy. It's just TikTok being TikTok. It just sucks. I mean, that's most of my money comes from TikTok. That's who pays me the most by far. So I can't just. I mean, I can't stop it, unfortunately. But it won't always be like that. And as soon as it's not, we're done with it. Yeah, if you're not following me, make sure you're following me. Or if you're on YouTube, subscribe. And then again, you can find all my full podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Rumble. So make sure you go check those out. And I have some really awesome news that'll be coming out this next week as well. And as soon as it hits, as soon as it is released, I will be putting that out. That's going to be really big and really awesome for us, for sure. Uh, 10 minutes, Gabby, I think it said. Yeah, I got to get up with somebody that works for TikTok, and I think I know a way to do that. And because we got to get this fixed, because I don't ever do the things that I'm reported for ever. I'm very careful at what we what I say and the things we put out. I followed the rules, and that's what pisses me off so much about it, because I could click through TikTok lives right now, and there would be so many. I'd be like, how in the hell are they able to say those things and do those and show those things? And they just let them. And then they keep blocking me. They keep, it's very frustrating. I have family scattered all over different time zones. Gonna be hell for yeah. I hate the time zone change, or I hate the daylight savings time. It's just, why are we still doing that? And I've never met anyone. So if anyone's on here that does like it, please put it in the chat, because I've literally never met anyone that likes it. So why are they not stopping the madness? They had the ceremony and lit the 120-foot cross tonight in Evergreen, Alabama. What ceremony was this, Tammy? No new news that I know of on Nancy. No. I keep hoping every day we'll hear something, and I'm telling the sheriff out there, Nanos, he's ruined that investigation. He's just, my goodness. Only an idiot thinks you can cut the top off a blanket and sew to the bottom and think you have a longer blanket. You're exactly right. It's a good way of putting it, Denim. Seasonal depression is real. No, it is, but I'm telling you, a big help for that is the tanning bed. And I don't want to hear people in here acting like that's the worst thing ever, because it's not. If you overuse it, absolutely. Absolutely. But during the winter months, when you're not getting out and you're not getting much sunshine, or if you work night shift, you need to go to a tanning bed some. I'm telling you, but yes, again, moderation for sure. Like, don't go every day or anything crazy like that. But I'm telling you, it will change the way, it will change you in 10 minutes. You'll be feeling like a different person. Jackson Conway Foundation. You have to check that out. I'm not familiar with that. Did I see where they said he had an antenna in his pocket? Who are you talking about, Nancy? Who had an antenna in his pocket? Are we talking about the same things here? I don't know. After I said that out loud, I don't know. It's some kind of prank here or trick. He had an antenna in his pocket. Gifts are back on TikTok. Thank you, Priscilla. But I'm telling you, that's another propaganda lie that the government has been selling us for years, is how bad the sun is for you. The sun is the best. Listen to me. The sun is the best medicine you will ever get. Ever. If you've got the flu, if you've got any sickness, go outside and lay in the sun. And I promise you, yeah, it's not going to like immediately heal you or anything like that. It will make you feel a lot better, and it will help your immune system dramatically. But that's propaganda of, oh, the sun's horrible, and no, it's not. Again, yeah, you don't want to overdo it, but as long as you do it in moderation. And a lot of the suntan lotions, the sun blocks, and listen to me, there have been a lot of the sunblocks that have been discontinued because they're causing more cancer than people getting skin cancer. That's true. Yeah, I don't use sunscreen. Now, I'm not saying nobody should not use sunscreen. Please, first off, don't take medical advice from me. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you my opinions on these things and my experience and the things I've researched on it. But I don't use sunblock. But I'm careful of how long I stay in the sun. Again, moderation. Don't want wrinkles? I'll take wrinkles any day over being sick. I'll take wrinkles any day over being depressed too, because I've been there, and it's horrible. I don't care how wrinkled I am. I never use sunscreen. Tan flab looks better than white flab. I agree with that. But yeah, you have to be careful. Again, you don't want to go sit out in the sun all day, every day without any kind of protection, but moderation. But seriously, anytime I'm sick, no matter what it is, if it's sunny outside, I'm going outside and laying down for as long as I can handle it, numerous times a day. And I'm telling you, it helps me get over whatever sickness so much faster. Today is day 7 of my fast. I've had nothing but water. Well, that's awesome. I didn't know you were doing that. That's amazing. Is there any specific reason you're doing it, or you just like you're doing it for like a religious reason, or just doing it? But that's very impressive. It's very good too to reset your system like that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you don't have to tell me which reason is. I wasn't meaning it like that. I'm changing my diet so I can walk again. No, I mean, again, it's like somebody, like Tracy just said, wish I had the discipline to do that. That requires crazy discipline, and I mean, that's impressive. Like, that's very impressive. I'm proud of you. You're going to get wrinkles at some point. Yeah, Debbie, I already have wrinkles. It is what it is. I may end up with a felony before sober. Well, hopefully not. If you're not following or subscribing, please do that. And again, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of those to catch my full podcast. And pretty soon, I'm going to have more guests on my podcast. I'm going to be putting more podcasts out with guests. Recently, they've been falling through a lot for some reason, just for different reasons here and there. But I've got some that I know are going to happen. I just don't know when. Some good ones. And then again, this next week, well, I believe this next week is when the podcast that I was a guest on will be coming out, but I'll put that out when it does. But I think it's supposed to come out this next week, and that's I'm really excited about that. And I think that's going to gain us a lot of more subscribers and followers. A lot. See if there was anything else that I was going to talk about tonight before we go. I think that was about it. So I appealed the TikTok thing earlier, and they just got back with appeal not approved. We have reviewed your appeal and confirmed that gifting and visibility for this live cannot be restored in recommendations and search results. I'm telling you, that did. What in the world? Thank you, Nancy. I really appreciate that. But on that note, I'm going to go. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of you for being on here, and I mean that we can't do any of I can't do any of this without you all, and especially without my team. I know they're behind the scenes, but they make all of this work. They do amazing work, and I can't thank them enough. And again, if it wasn't for them, I would not be able to do all this, not even close. But I hope they know how much I appreciate them, and I hope everyone that follows me knows how much I appreciate you and your support. If there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate to message me on one of the platforms. It may take me a while to get to the message, but at some point I will try my best to get to it. And if I can help you, I will. And if I can't, I'll let you know that I can't. If you or anyone you know is interested in being a guest on the podcast, make sure you contact us either via email at agentdbaker315@gmail.com. It's agentdbaker315@gmail.com. Or you can direct message Christy Bryant Robinson on Facebook, and she's my booking manager. So either one of those, you can send that request through those, and we'll go through it and see if we can get you on or not. But and if you have any information on any stories, whether it's something I'm covering or something you'd like for me to talk about, don't hesitate to send that to me. And I will never repeat if you send me any sensitive information or anything, I will never repeat your name to anyone, no matter what. Your name and your info will be completely safe with me always. And I stand by that and always will. Again, that's another way that this keeps going is people sending me that information that I need. And I can't tell you all how much I appreciate that stuff. And if I've promised to get back with you, if we have spoken and I haven't, then please message me again. It won't aggravate me. It's just something that fell through the cracks, and unfortunately, it's just something that happens because I'm just one person. So, and certain information I don't even release to my team. Like I said, your names, I send them the information, but they don't know who it came from or anything like that. I'm very particular about that and very strict with that. Not because I don't trust my team, obviously, but just because that's what I promise you all. So again, your name will never be repeated to anyone. No one else other than myself would see that. But on that note, again, Patreon will hit sometime Monday, and then we'll put that out. And I'll be back live. Unless something big happens, I'll be back live Monday night at my regular time, 8 p.m. Central Time. If something crazy or some big news were to happen tomorrow, then I'll jump on tomorrow. But other than that, I'll be back Monday. My regular live times are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday nights. Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Central, and Friday nights, 9 p.m. Central. And then sometimes on Saturdays, I jump on as well, just like tonight. But other than that, hope y'all have a great rest of your Saturday night and a great rest of your weekend. And I will see y'all back Monday.
Welcome back to Truth or Recon. I'm Agent D. Baker, a retired narcotics detective, SWAT team member, and U.S. Navy combat veteran of OEF and OIF. With years of real-world experience in high-stakes environments, I have seen firsthand the dangers that lurk both in our communities and now increasingly online. These conversations can get raw, they can get heavy, and sometimes they may not be suitable for children, so consider this your disclaimer. But if you care about truth, justice, and accountability, then you're in the right